Oh, wait a minute. I didn't even start my audio recording. What a jackass. That's embarrassing. Okay, yeah, we're in business. Welcome in. It is the 14th of April, 2021. This show comes to you each and every weekday from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
This is Bob from Grand Rapids, and you're listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast. If you're new to the show, this is a guy who will make you laugh and make you cry. Some days you'll want to hug him, and some days you'll want to punch him in the face. But most importantly, if you disagree with something he says, don't worry. He'll change his mind in a couple of days anyway. And now here he is, Eric Zane.
Appreciate that, Bob. It's ultra welcome, Ed. Thank you so much. This is a daily show where I cover news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Monday through Friday, right here. As you know, you can enjoy the show live on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair and EV. Twitter, Periscope video, at Eric Zane Show on Twitter, brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Please, of course, share the Facebook and then retweet the Twitter with a nasty comment. That would be fantastic. We're at a point where we have several regulars who share the Facebook. I see like 4 or 5 shares a day. I can't stress enough it's a mystery to me why, as I'm saying it, you don't just hit it. Why is that not good? Does that hurt you if you do it? Is that asking too much of you to just hit the fucking share button? What? At least on the retweet, I can see you wouldn't want to send a nasty comment because that might take 6 seconds as opposed to the millisecond it takes to hit the damn share button so that people who follow you can see the brilliance that you're watching. Or maybe it's like I don't want them to see what I'm watching. Could be that too. In that case, I understand. But anyway, YouTube is brought to you by nobody right now. YouTube, you can follow the show, Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, thumbs up, and off you go. And wherever you download audio podcasts, just search Eric Zane Show, or you can get it all at ericzaneshow.com. All of this is there. I could have just said you can get all that info there, but I actually feel anxiety if I don't actually tell you. So there you go. All there for you. If you could subscribe, rate, and review the audio podcast, especially on Apple Podcasts. I would love to see some reviews on there. I think Dirk just sent one that was very nice the other day. It's just sounded Dirk-like. I'm pretty sure it was because I was under the impression that he was trying to find out which one, because there's more than one. If you search Eric Zane Show on Apple Podcasts, it shows up as like you can see 3 logos. The one with the red writing, it's a Celebration Cinema. It's not you don't want to touch that one on the review. And then of the 2 remaining identical logos, excuse me, one has more reviews than the other. Okay? Let's see here. I can't even tell. Yeah, one has 367 reviews. Let's see. We got one Saturday. Eric always knows the movie he's discussing, but never the title. It's a good point. So you'll be screaming into the phone the title, all the while he'll name every name but the movie name. It's comedy, real life, and some great stories along the way. Highly recommend. This one says, great podcast. If you like to listen to a guy that's absolutely convinced that he's always right, but in fact is typically wrong, this is your guy. Great content, amazing impressions. I don't know about that. And self-deprecating unless he thinks you're wrong. In this case, facts certainly won't have an effect. He's also one of the most caring and giving people on the face of the planet. I think that is Dirk. This person wrote cringe. 1 star. Hired and employed sexual predators to be part of his show. It says a part of his show. Part of his show. This is the ramblings of a man gasping for breath at the end of a long overdue retirement. I wish this show nothing but the worst, knowing they deserve it. Fuck. I wouldn't have been minding so much if you gave me like 5 stars. Then it would have been okay. If you're gonna be an asshole, please give me 5 stars. I'm sure that person hates me though, but it says hired and employed sexual predators to be part of his show. Yeah, but I didn't know that. And by the way, hired and employed, it's kind of the same thing. You could have gotten away with just saying hired a sexual predator to be part of his show. Yes, that's true. I did in fact do that at one point. I'll let you fill in the blanks on that. Whatever. So there you go. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts to like cancel that guy out, if you would. Thank you so much. Holy crap. Where do we begin? Let me just tell you that my dad will be joining us in just under an hour for Dear Meathead, brought to you by JM Synthetics. I need some questions. I've got a few, got a couple on Facebook, but might need a few more. You can keep them as simple as you want, and then I'll send those along to him. I'll read them to him, and we can have at it. Have a great time on another rip-roaring edition of Dear Meathead, which somehow just keeps getting better. I don't know how, but the segment with my dad, my 87-year-old father, with my lovely stepmother in the background, laughing away at, you see, her and I know him, and he doesn't think, there's certain things that happen when we're talking that he doesn't think are ridiculous that he says. So that when I repeat them to him, like in a matter-of-fact way, it just kills her. So you never know what is going to happen and unfold when we do that segment. All right. So, questions for Dear Meathead. Yesterday, I noticed this. First of all, as you know, when I do this show, I have like the recorded audio and then the live streams. The live stream features the ability, and those who are watching it right now have the ability to see that I am putting the questions on the screen, not the questions, but the comments. So just like that, the screen me reduces by a third and a column emerges so that all of the questions can be shown. So what you have, not I keep saying questions, comments. So what you have here is people who are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, all making the comments, and then it shows up. All right. So they can all see what everybody else is thinking. Now, that's too much for some of you. The most vocal being Kenny about not liking the comments on there because for some reason, people don't have Kenny, and a lot of people actually think, it's too distracting. I can't handle it. I mean, it's like, I don't know. So some people like it. Some people don't. No big deal. So sometimes I'll leave it off there. Other times I'll take it off. And it just depends on the mood I'm in, whether I feel how long. It's kind of like the possession arrow in a basketball game. So yesterday there was a discussion about this, and Kenny was making a huge deal about it. He was going on and on and on. So during the Patreon, I was having that discussion that I told the story about when I was, as the day wore on yesterday, I'm like, okay, I've got to share something with Kenny. And I put it actually on the comments of one of the Facebook posts. I said, Amanda used to get grief for being the number one complainer on the show. In fact, Amanda, I created a voice for her, because she was constantly bitching about everything. And so that gave birth to Amanda, my version of Amanda, which is, I don't like the chair that you're sitting in. Can you maybe change that chair? Oh, my God. That hoodie you're wearing, it's just terrible. Can you maybe go put on a new hoodie? And, I'm painting her that way. This came to a head when I was off my meds in California. She pissed me off so bad about something. She might even have revealed the ending of a story or something like that. Anyway, her big fat fucking mouth was going on way too much. And I pulled the plug on a live stream, which I have done in the past. I haven't done it in a long time. But I was so pissed off, I pulled the plug, fucking having a temper tantrum like a big bitch that I am. So, all right, that's that. But since then, she has shut her mouth. She is so cool right now. I love her to death. I told her yesterday, you are one of my favorites. Now, you're all my favorites, but it's different levels of favoritism, okay? And there isn't anybody who's really on my shit list at all right now. I don't have a problem with anybody, even Kenny. But I did make the observation yesterday to him. I go, look, buddy, Amanda has developed she's kind of changed her game. She's not complaining about anything these days. However, you've actually upped your game. It's like you have absorbed some of her superpower of complaining, and all you do now is bitch about everything. Oh, shit. I forgot to close the blinds. The sun's rising. All right, hang on. Sorry. All right. So Kenny's bitching about everything, and I tell him. So then, amazingly, in a stroke of brilliance, on the Patreon, I said, Kenny, your new nickname is Commanda. I'm going to call you Commanda from this day forward. And in an instant, all of the folks on Patreon, there's about 20 people watching the live stream. Those that know Kenny and have a contact in their phone, they immediately changed the contact from Kenny or Hardcore Kenny or Mabak to Commanda. And oh my God, he immediately is pissed off about this. So the show ends. As the day unwinds, shortly thereafter, I sent him a screenshot of my contact of him. This is a perfect example of how much Kenny and Amanda hate each other. Check this out, because these two things happened separately from each other as the day wound down. After I sent him the screenshot of the contact that now says Commanda, Kenny says, "That's not funny, man." Hey, that's not funny, man. And then he wrote, "You know I can't stand her." And then I wrote, yeah, but you've taken over her old persona. Are you going to start selling dildos? He said, BS. You said you liked Angry Me yesterday. Was just going off of that today. Combining my name with her is too far. It's too far. Holy shit. And then he writes, all caps, "Look what you've done." And he sends me a screenshot that I think Patriot Nick did the same thing. He changed Kenny's name to Commanda, and he posted the screenshot of the contact to Zaniacs United. So how awesome is that? Look what you've done. So I sent the laughy emojis, and he says, "Fucking Connor says that shit every day, man." I don't know what he means by that. I wrote, "Oh, lighten up, not a big deal." So then that ends. A few hours later, I get this text from Amanda, who listens later on. She doesn't hear it as it all unfolds. She writes, I always love the shout outs. However, I am not down with Kenny's new nickname. Commanda, or whatever. Commanda, and this is her problem with it. Commanda, or whatever, insinuates that we are a couple. which will never happen. So she's upset because she's afraid it would somehow insinuate that they are together, which, frankly, these two, I know, and I'm sure all of you know about the intense sexual tension between these two. These two are destined to be really, really aggressive sexual lovers. We all know that. Everyone is well aware that these two are going to pork probably the next time Kenny shows up here in Michigan. So I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I think she's just lying to herself, frankly. And I wrote, he said the same thing. Never say never. She said, I'm not complaining. I'm begging. She actually is begging for me to not refer to Kenny as Commander. She says, I do have other suggestions. Bitching Kenny, bitch Kenny, Kenny the bitch. I like Kenny the bitch. That actually has a ring to it. You can tell him those are my ideas, and I know they won't stick because he's such a fucking snowflake. Oh, fuck. Here we go. Have a good night. Oh, and you trying to make us a couple is like you trying to make fetch happen. I'm not sure what she means by that. Only a few people will get that reference. Fetch is jizz, so what are you talking about? Then I told her, you are hilarious. You're one of my favorites. So, these two cannot stand each other, at least in text form. Now, I don't know. I think to me, they're both playing hard to get. What do you guys think? I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. Kenny was going at Dean yesterday, too. He was fighting more than one war. I'm not sure what was going on. Why he was so agitated, but he was a bit of a crank. It does happen. All right. So, all right. Jason says if they get together, it would rip a hole in the fabric of space-time from the sheer gravity of all the complaining and close proximity. But can you imagine the abundance of human gravy being made between those two? That would be incredible. You could, wow. All right. So that's what I wanted to start with. Questions in, comments out. Welcome to the show. All right. Yesterday was a day for a long-awaited MRI for my beloved Queen of the Forest. Diana and I, she's like, anytime she goes to the doc, she's like, would you go with me? I just want someone with me. And I'm like her security blanket. And I go, of course. Yes. Let's go get the MRI done. Now, the shoulder is so fucked right now. Years ago, the left was a problem. She couldn't even raise it up. And they had to do this forced manipulation or forced, frozen shoulder. I have no idea how that even happens, but for some reason the shoulder stops working. And so, and don't even know what type of trauma occurred that would make all this scar tissue appear. But quite literally, they need to put you under. They don't intubate you, but they do knock you out. And then, which I imagine it would sound like my neck exploding. And then they bust up, quite literally bust up the scar tissue. Then they send you off to rehab for 2.5 months, and off you go. You're good as new. That's it. The right, same thing. However, this just came up. Excuse me. Damn it. The idea here is they do this MRI to determine it, make 100% sure. However, the orthopedic, the doc says, I cannot, however, Queen of the Forest, rule out arthritis. And if that happens, if she has arthritis of the shoulder joint, we've got a real problem, because that means you need a new shoulder. There is literally nothing they can do for you, from what I'm told, to repair, I don't know, turn it around once you have arthritis of the shoulder joint. So if you can picture a shoulder, you got that ball and socket there in the shoulder. doing its thing, and on the end of the bone is the cartilage, and that provides for smooth movement. Arthritis means that cartilage has deteriorated, and eventually, once it deteriorates completely, you have bone on bone, which is not smooth or fluid in any way, and it's very, very painful if that happens. So if Diana has arthritis of the shoulder, you get a new shoulder joint made out of titanium. And that is quite literally, they cut the top of the humerus bone off, and they bolt on the new shoulder and attach it into here, and the whole thing is very, very complex. And I think the shoulder, it might even be more intricate than the knee, because you have smaller structures that are there with the clavicle and the whole rotator cuff, all that shit. It's very, very in-depth. So I'm a little worried about whether or not she has arthritis. So off we go. We got to go get this MRI, So there's a little bit of anticipation. And we drive to Holland Hospital for the big MRI. She's got a 6:30 appointment. Yeah, they work that late, Pull in there, no big deal. And walk in, do the old temperature check, put on one of our masks. Okay, off you go. Go into the radiology area. Okay, fill out this document. And then I'm sitting there with Diana, and then all of a sudden, the lady who we checked in with, she comes walking up. She goes, "Hey, Diana," and we're like, "Yeah." And she goes, "We got some bad news." Yeah, okay. The MRI machine broke. We're like, "What?" "Yeah, it doesn't work right now. It's gonna be down for a few hours, so everything's off. You got to go home." What? So yeah. Can you believe that? All that build up, expecting to get this test done so we can maybe begin the process of figuring out what the fuck is wrong with the shoulder, and somehow the machine doesn't work. She goes, "Yeah, somebody tried to call you." Nobody tried to call. There's no call. This has been known for like extended time, and they said, "Yeah, we tried to call you," but nobody's phone rang. There's no missed calls, nothing. You can't get away these days with saying, "Yeah, I tried to call you." It doesn't work that way, because you know if someone tries to call you. That would have worked before cell phones, but so all right, they go, "Okay, that's going to be it. We got to reschedule." So Diana's pissed, and I'm like just staying out of her way. I'm like, "Yeah, I can't believe that." So we got nothing done. All of that. We drove a half an hour one way just to get that far, and for them to say, "Hey, go home." Holy crap. Stand by. I am having some, I don't know what it is. There must be COVID stuck in my throat or something like that. I am going to make it so you guys get all pissed off at each other again and have more fights on the chat. Kenny might lecture you and yell at me because I'm showing the chat. From time to time I do that, but we're going to talk Virginia guy getting pulled over, the lieutenant who got pepper sprayed. Some new information there, which I don't think changes anything to me. Minnesota is going to be discussed. What else am I going to discuss with you? COVID. Oh my God, I am going for it. Nothing is going to stop me. I am going for it today. But first, I want to show you. This is why it's important to watch the live stream. First of all, I'll describe what's happening here, and then I will share the video with you so you can see something spectacular, okay? And if you're listening to the audio podcast after I finished with the live stream, and you're like, "Oh, God, I wish I could see this too," I'll link it up in the comments, and you can find it at ericzaneshow.com, right at the homepage. But the way I remember AAU basketball, because Jackie played AAU basketball for a little bit, was AAU basketball is full of asshole adults. And I'm so glad that she didn't go down that road and continue to play. She only played basketball through her freshman year of high school when she blew out her knee. But excuse me. That it's there. There's a lot of I don't know. It depends on what I'm talking about. Which sport has the biggest assholes? I mean, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot at the hockey with youth hockey. And man, I've seen parents get thrown out and referees just sitting there with their arms crossed, waiting for parents to leave. Soccer, same thing. I'll never forget that. Parents were screaming and yelling at the refs. The refs waited until they left. So you have so much shitty behavior by adults in any level of youth sports. It's awful. AAU, same thing. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man? I was always, I would go there to see my kids play. And then, for example, when the kids' basketball games would start, it'd take me about 3 seconds before I realized that this is the shittiest thing in the entire world. I mean, oh, God, in 3 seconds, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, hey, I got to go take a leak. And then the trip to the bathroom takes about 30 minutes so I can kill some time so I don't have to watch that shit. Every kid on the floor sucks, okay? And there might be like one kid who plays like Michael Jordan, and that one kid carries the team. And then the other 5 on the other side of the ball, they suck. So out of 10 kids on the court, 1 is like Michael Jordan. The rest are terrible. And then so the team with the Michael Jordan chick, they end up taking starting the game with a 75-0 run. And I have watched games where at the end of the first half, it was so lopsided that they reset the score to 0. I am not shitting you. That happened. It's absolutely horrible. Oh, I have, and I am always amazed at the parents who are like into it. It's like, there's nothing to be into here. This is all shitty. And so they're sitting there screaming, foul, travel. And I'm like, oh, God, why are you even bothering wasting your time? So the shit I've seen over the years has been extensive. And it's traumatizing to see grown adults act like such pieces of shit. And all that does is ensures that the kids are going to be assholes when they grow up. I was always bored out of my mind. I can't even, as soon as I start talking about another experience I had at a youth sporting event, I then think that one is the worst. The basketball sucked, but then there was the girls' softball. And some of these games that have no time limit, it was just horrible. We're talking like in the ball fields where Madison is playing, there isn't a tree to be found. So you're just sitting there burning in the sun, okay? And just all you're doing is fighting for your life and survival, trying to find some shade as, all they do is pitch and the kid takes every time. So it's four balls, take your base, 4 balls, take your base. Load the bases, 1 run, 2 run, 3 run, 4 run, 5 run. It gets to be 10 runs, and then that's the end of the inning. And then the other team takes over. They do the same thing. Take 4 pitches, load the bases, walk in the runs. So at the bottom of the first, it's 10-10. The bottom of the second, it's 20-20. And this goes on to the end of the game. And every game ends in like a 60-60 tie for girls softball. It's shit. I hated it. Oh, yeah, but we're building the athletes of tomorrow. Yeah, fuck it. Oh, God. I can only hope and pray that you as parents have kids that are not into sports, okay? It's going to save your life. You see how old I look? I've been telling you that I'm 50. I'm actually only 20. I look this way because of youth sports. They have made me age at an alarming pace, and that is all brand new information for you. I'm actually only a 20-year-old man. I just look this way, old and shitty, because of youth sports. Fucking horrible. If this is what you do, if your 14-year-old kid says, I want to play sports, you buy your son walks up to you and says, I want to play youth sports. Say, okay, I got a better idea. Let's go and drop $5,000 on video games. And then video games, paintball equipment, and then buy him some hookers or anything to keep him away from youth sports. No. The only good thing about youth sports was paying attention to the lunatics that are at youth sports. The moms and the dads, the parents who make it so that there is another crop of asshole parents down the road. Josh says you're 20 and you have 2 kids that are older than you. Just play along, asshole. The fuck is wrong with you? It's called a bit. I don't know where this happened. Some AAU basketball game where, okay, the way it unfolds is it's in Indiana. Okay, it's in Indiana, and you got 2 ladies teams, young ladies teams, and it starts out innocently enough. First of all, the refs always look the same, okay? The refs always look like they used to be badasses, but they have this type of like pot belly. Now, this guy right here, you got this guy with the beard here. He's not the problem. By the way, it's always a bad look when the refs have the striped shirt and the shorts. Okay, it just looks bad with the black shoes. It just looks horrible. Now you can see right here. You see all these eyes from this team looking at these 2. All these people looking at these refs tells me ass kicking is in store. Now, this dude right here, who's not as fat as this idiot ref, this idiot right here, he's the problem. Actually, I would say that he's 90% of the problem here. Now, in the background, you see this guy here in the yellow. The guy here in the yellow, he's going to be a key player in this event. Okay? Also, there's a dude seated right next to him. You see that? He's going to be involved in this too. How about this little girl here, this young lady in the headband? She is involved. So headband, young lady, guy sitting down, fat ass guy standing up are going to square off with this ref. All right. Now, as it unfolds, for those of you who aren't watching this, they're giving the ref a bunch of grief, and he's being very calm. You think there's nothing happening, okay? Because you can't really hear what all the fans and all the other players are saying to this ref. Okay. Well, in the background, you see this dude in the yellow here? He's going to walk onto the court, and he's going to be holding his phone up to the ref. And he's going to be like, giving him a bunch of shit while he's holding the phone up to the ref. So God only knows what he's saying, okay? So he's obviously saying something rude and pissing this guy off because in an instant, this ref freaks out and slaps the hell out of his hand and the phone, okay? So the ref initiates contact. Okay, where I'm from, where you're from, if somebody touches you or hits you aggressively like that, it is now okay to fight. I would say at this point, everything diplomatically is off the table. Because if the guy in the yellow who just got slapped by the ref does anything but tries to kick the ref's ass, he's going to be bitching out on the whole deal. So it's important that this guy in the yellow then try to kick this ref's ass. So he does. And then you're going to see this young lady in the white headband. She goes, hell no. And she goes running up and tries to punch the ref. Okay. So now we're playing the feud. This guy who's sitting down here, this skinny guy, he comes running up and he kind of like starts doing shadow boxing, but in a weird, awkward way, and he's kind of like just waiting to throw a sucker punch, okay? You've seen this before many times when one guy's getting stomped, like people will wait for their opportunity to get a clear shot, okay? So this is all weird. The fight then goes over to like the 3-point line area, and then dude in the yellow, he throws, he pulls off a really, really sweet WWE suplex, okay? And the ref, who's not a small guy, he gets thrown hard down onto the court, and he smashes his head, and then they proceed to start stomping his ass. It's intense. Let's roll it. Here we go. So you see he's bitching, he's talking, he's like, all right, okay, no big deal. This girl in the headband, she's like, I don't know what's happening. And this guy, so he blows the whistle. He says, okay, let's do this. He's standing around. Here comes guy in the yellow. He's on the court now. He's getting a little bit more emboldened. He's got the recording. Here he comes. He's coming. This white guy here, he doesn't have any idea what the hell is happening. Here comes black guy in the yellow, pulls down his mask. He's like, motherfucker. And he gets the attention of white guy, of the ref. And he's saying shit, talking shit to him. You can see he's getting into watch this. Oh, there it is. And then here comes the kid. The kid. And then look at this guy. He's like, motherfucker. I'm just waiting. Watch this. WWE. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. And then they start kicking his ass. Here comes the cavalry. All right, separate. Everybody, cooler heads prevail. No big deal. Let's back that up. Wow. Okay, let's do this on a blow-by-blow level again. Frame by frame here. Okay, this guy's trying to ignore. No big deal. You see, he had looked over once. He's like, oh, yeah, I see you. You're pissing me off, but he's remaining calm. And there it is. Oh, this guy's like, no way. Now look at the kid. The kid here, I love this. She's got her coat and her book bag. She drops all that shit, and she goes, motherfucker, hell no. Maybe that's her father. I don't know. Maybe she just wants to fight. Okay? So there she drops all that shit, even drops the phone. Look, there's the phone. She's like, hell yeah. Can you imagine that? A kid dropping a phone? That's the only way you get a kid to not have a care in the world about their phone, is if there's a fight breaking out, apparently. So here she comes. Whammo! Now, he kind of blocks it, so it didn't really make contact. So then this guy's trying to, but this dude, he comes in, he's like, motherfucker, I'm gonna. And watch what he does. He's like, throws a punch, and then he backs away really weird. Whoa. He backs up. Look at that. Oh, my God. And then the kid, and then look at that. I think if I pause it at a key moment on this suplex, I might be able to get the guy actually in the air. That's some good strength there. His feet are up. You see his feet are up here right now. There he goes. He's sideways. Bam! Oh! And then the pylon. Woo! That was awesome. Oh, my God. Yeah, so, you got to give this to yellow shirt guy on the victory. And then he's doing the hops. The whole party moves over to there. Who knows? God knows what happened. This chick's just walking off. This mom picks up the book bag. She's like, oh, shit, just another day at the office. This kid's got an umbrella. Wow. That is spectacular. Man. So, all right, what do we got here? The postmortem on this. Ref hit guy. Guy was being an asshole. But look, if you're in AAU basketball, it's full of scum of the earth parents. That's what AAU is for. You think it's supposed to be for youth sports and basketball, but it's not. It's not at all. That's where asshole parents hang out. We all know that. That's what you go there for. You go to AAU basketball not to watch the kids play. You want to see the parents act like assholes. So, whatever. That's par for the course on an AAU game. But, okay. Yellow shirt guy marching on with the cell phone. That's kind of a bitch move, but still, whatever. He's doing that. Again, that is not beyond, that is in the AAU playbook, okay? AAU is garbage shit basketball. So then the ref, though, I kind of love that the ref hit the shit out of the guy's hand, because that's what all parents at AAU basketball deserve, is to get the shit knocked out of them. And the refs take so much abuse, but he probably shouldn't have done that. You have now relinquished your right to safety if you are going to smack the fucking hand of the guy shooting the video. You're then on your own. You're going to have to start swinging for the fences. If you were smart, you should have followed up that smack with maybe a Superman punch or a flying knee or something like that, threw him in a rear naked choke, and then that's the end of it. But no, now he's got the fight, and then, the chick comes in defending, and then Fred Sanford's buddy Grady shows up at the last minute and starts to stomp him. Wow. I am very, very happy that happened. And it's a good thing. We need more of that. All right? Wow. Megan says, I hope she's out of sports for a long time. What a disaster. Mom cleaning her shit up, cleaning the kids' backpack up. Andrea says she won't play basketball for that team again. Yeah, you don't know. That's AAU. They give you like player of the week. They're like, good job. I mean, that's what it's for. So, I haven't really seen any fights at any sporting events. But God, I wish I did. I've just seen parents kicked out. It just has been ugly for a long, long time. So, all right, that is that. My gosh. Hey, I want you to get some merch. If you like the Eric Zane Show podcast, get a damn T-shirt and wear it proudly. You can check out all of my merch at ericzaneshow.com. Shop around. You can get T-shirts. You can get a onesie for the baby, hoodie, zip-up hoodie. You can get crews. You can get those baseball jerseys, with the different colored sleeves with 9 different designs, including the podcaster, the comic book artwork made by the psycho magician Zaniac John. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of your efforts. Get a T-shirt. The shipping charge is not my fault. If I had it my way, you would pay just for the freaking T-shirt and the tax, but they bend you over. T Public does with the shipping. So, all right, but I get a few bucks for every T-shirt, so thank you so much. If not, that's cool too. And the open of the Eric Zane Show podcast is brought to you by TC Paintball, featuring the kids' leagues going on today. All right. Okay. Encourage your kids to do paintball, play paintball, and not youth sports. They're getting just as much activity. They're getting the thrill of competition. They're going to meet cool chicks who play paintball. You're going to have a great time. For the young kids who've never played before, you can use the God, what an idiot. The low impact equipment. I suck so bad. The low impact equipment, and that would be fun. And then they can get introduced to the game that way. If you got the kid, it's, I don't give a shit, man. Let's play. I want to get a welt. Like Bo, the tarantula farmer's kid, who's like, hey, Zane, look at the welt on my belly and on my neck. Hey, Zane, follow me. TC Paintball. Today is the day for the youth league. Get there at 5. Sign in. Start playing at 5:30. If you could, please pre-register by sending Rick an email or calling TC Paintball ahead of time. All the info is at tcpaintballgr.com. And we have a paintball event coming up right around the corner. It is on May 16th. That is Sunday, May 16th, 5 p.m. Pizza party ahead of time from BC Pizza. You ever notice how many of my sponsors have 2 letters to you have AE Heating and Cooling, A and D Cleaning, TC Paintball, BC Pizza. Holy shit. All right. BC Pizza ahead of time. And then we play paintball. If you want in, I'm establishing my list of people. I've got a lot of the regulars. I would love new people. Just send me an email that you're going to be there so I can get a head count. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Let's see. We are just under a month away from that. I've got the Kuipers brothers, so that's 2. Tarantula Farmer plus 2, so that's 5. And Tyler, that's 6. That's it. I like to have 20 plus. Hell, if everybody who has ever played paintball would play again at our event coming up on May 16th, we'd have like 40 people or 50 even. It would be incredible. So if you haven't played in a while, I want to see you. TC Paintball online at tcpaintballgr.com. Hang on. All right. Hey Guys Media Group. They want to help you start a podcast. You might be like, I want to talk about this or that, or I want to be the next Chad Zumach. I want to have some fun doing podcasting. You might not have any idea what the hell you're doing. So that's why Hey Guys Media Group is there. They kind of are the tutors to podcasting, teaching you everything you need to know so that you on your own can then do it and post your episodes and edit and basic shit like that, and helps you avoid all the pitfalls that can slow you down. Okay, so you pay them one fee. They help you publish your first 4 podcasts, and off you go. You need more information on this? HeyGuysMediaGroup.com. They also provide consulting. Okay? What that means is they give you like coaching advice on, to help you improve your podcast. Because let's be honest here. When you start your podcast, it's going to be so shitty. They all are. They all are. A lot of people would say that after almost 570 episodes, mine has not improved. I'd like to think that I've improved quite a bit, but all right, there are some critical people. I understand that. But they can help you improve your podcast by giving you the straight talk when they look at you in the face and say, yeah, you're doing this all wrong. Everything you're doing is terrible, so I'm going to help you improve. Jason Terry, in particular, has a really, really keen ear for this. I think he's found his calling when it comes to coaching because Jason Terry from the Hey Guys Media Group, this guy was just a fan. He's just a big, big fan of content on radio and podcast, stuff like that. And so he's developed quite a good, I'll admit this, a sensibility about what is right, what's wrong, what sounds good, what sounds bad. Occasionally I'll get a text from him or a voice message that says, hey, quit touching your microphone and shit when you're talking. It's really distracting. It's the audience hates it. Quit touching your fucking mic. And I'm like, shut up. He's kind of like a program director minus the stupidity, okay? There you go. Thank you to Hey Guys Media Group. Mention me, save 50%, by the way. If somebody calls up and says, hey, I want you to help me, they're going to charge them full. Mention the Eric Zane Show podcast, you'll save 50%. All right, where are we here? It's time to bring out the comments. Show them for you guys, and everybody can have a good time. All right. Why I'm doing that? Because we are about to get into the discussion about all of the weird shit going on in the world today, and my 2 cents that goes with that. This is subject matter that not everybody wants to talk about, but everybody is aware of and everybody's following. You ever notice why that is? Why when you turn on your local radio show where, everybody's kind of hanging out, they're all looking at each other and nobody wants to talk about this shit? Why is that? Everybody is aware of it. Everybody's following it, yet nobody wants to actually, in the industry that I'm in, spend a little time to discuss it. Why is that? I've never understood that. Radio in particular has gotten that way. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why? I don't understand. Why can't you just say how you feel and just let the chips fall as they may and stimulate a conversation? I don't know. That doesn't mean you have to be an idiot about it. Okay. So Virginia incident where military guy, Army guy, he's a lieutenant, he's an officer riding home from riding on the road in his new car. He doesn't have a license plate because it's a new car. He's got a tag from the dealer. Cop can't see it. Cop pulls him over. In Virginia, lieutenant takes forever to pull over. He goes about 1.5 miles. He gets to a well-lit area, pulls over, which does happen from time to time. We've all discussed this. We've discussed this in the past. It does happen. Next thing you know, the cops are screaming at him with their guns drawn. Now, I cannot walk in the shoes of that guy or any guy that happens to be black guy with cops pointing guns at you. And the reason why is because black guys get shot. And they have been getting shot. Every time you turn around, there's a story about this. Now, I know what some of you are going to say, well, that's just because the media, they're just piling on. They just love the narrative. Well, okay, it doesn't make it so that these things don't happen. They still do happen. All right? I don't give a shit if as many white guys are getting shot as black guys. The fact of the matter is, it is out there, so black guy might be, I don't know, scared. He might be worried he's going to get shot. I don't know. He might not be. He might be objecting to getting pulled over. He might be saying, why did I get pulled over? Why did I get pulled over? You've seen that many times, non-compliance. So do we have an instance here where the guy is scared or he's not complying because he's getting yelled at? We don't know. Don't know. All right? All I know is guy's not getting out of the car. The cops are screaming at him. When we had Jason Schaefer on here, who seems to be a really thoughtful individual with some great sense about him, he talked about it yesterday. When he revealed that it is in the cops' playbook, at some point, instead of just screaming in the guy's face, to somehow try to de-escalate it and, maybe talk your way through it while you still have him at gunpoint, I guess. But there is a way to handle this. And, but it's, I guess, the discretion of the cop. The cops, it's in their playbook to escalate if they want or de-escalate. I am not saying that anything was done wrong by these cops in any way. In fact, I'm sure a lot of cops would say everything was done by the book at that point. And fuck, I don't know. I'm just a guy watching this shit. But if I'm a cop and I know full well where this is going and I'm getting nowhere, is it possible then to, I don't know, there's that word again, pivot and maybe try to navigate this way in a constructive way for both? Or is this an example of a pissing match and the cop doesn't like being put into the situation and he's pissed off? Now, if you notice in that clip, the cop said, "You're about to ride lightning, son." The guy said, "I'm scared," and he said, "You should be." The cop said, "You should be." Now, those two things, as a cop, I'm sure anybody who is a cop would agree, is extremely unprofessional. And if we're trying to keep this above board, those two things, I think, can come back to haunt the cop. This is just my pedestrian view of it. I don't know shit, okay? Now, I know what some of you are already saying. You're saying, yeah, but they found a gun. They found a gun. It's like, hang on, I'll get to that. Don't jump the gun on me, so to speak. Just fucking relax for a minute. Hang on. All right. Guy won't get out of the car. Cop chooses to not de-escalate. Outside of saying you should be scared and you're about to ride the lightning, I don't think anything wrong has happened. Cop is still concerned. He's worried about going home at night in one piece. I don't have a problem with anything other than the unprofessional comments, which I don't know if that means he gets fired. I don't know that. I don't know what rules he's broken. I don't know if that's a big deal. I have no idea. Now, this cop is out of a job. Should he be out of a job? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think he should be out of a job based on my stupid pedestrian view of this. Because at this point, he's dealing with all he knows is a guy who won't listen to him. And he's not capable of thinking that the guy might just be scared, even though the guy is saying that to him. He is possibly thinking the guy has a gun. Busts out the pepper spray, pepper sprays him. Guy finally, you know what? In this whole story, you know how I was most concerned for? The dog. The dog is in the back seat of the car going, ah, 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 ah. I felt bad for the dog here. That was who I felt the most bad for. I think in order of who I felt bad for, it was dog, the lieutenant, the guy who got pepper sprayed, and then the younger cop who really had a look on his face of, I don't know, man. He was, of the two cops, he was the junior. The more obnoxious guy was the one who was in charge. Because in that video, he's like, don't do that. Don't reach in there. Don't do this. He's giving orders for safety for the younger cop. Okay. Guy finally gets out. They have a long conversation. The pepper spray is not stinging nearly as bad, and they're kind of going over what just happened. Okay. And it's much calmer. And I'm like, well, why the fuck? Why didn't you guys? This could all have been avoided. Yes, it could have been avoided if he had complied. Okay. I understand that. So I understand all of this, but at the same time, fuck, can't you guys think? I mean, both the motorists and the cops. Then they go back into the car and they find a gun, a loaded gun. And okay, here's where it's weird, because you have people now saying, see, he had a gun. That point is moot. That means nothing to this because, first of all, the cop doesn't know he has a gun. He has no idea whatsoever. And there's no law with having I drive around with a loaded gun on the floor of my car all the time. The lieutenant had no intention of reaching for that gun at all. That is irrelevant. The gun being there, though you morons might think that, oh, you see, they did it for a good reason. That cop could have got shot. No, he couldn't have, because this guy had no intention of using the gun. It was just there because he's allowed to have a gun. Of course he's got a fucking gun. You should have a gun. So, I don't know. That's kind of where I stand on it. I don't like the fact that now they're taking the idea that this guy had a gun and somehow trying to instill a level of fear and fucking up this story when, honestly, that has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. So that's where I stand on that deal. Then the cop goes and gets fired. I don't think he should have gotten fired. I don't think he... Honestly, I don't think he did anything wrong at all. I don't think that when you have all he thought was there could be a danger here, and I've got a guy who is unwilling to get out of the car. He could be wanting to shoot me. Okay, now he wasn't, but I mean, honestly, I don't think that he did anything that was not by the book, but yet he's fired for it. I know it's kind of weird. You're like, well, wait a minute. You shouldn't get fired, but you think he's making a mistake? Oh, absolutely. I think if it were me, if this cop were smarter, he might have. Yeah, that's right. I'm telling a cop how to do his job. If that cop were smarter, he would have tried to talk his way out of it while keeping his gun trained on him. You know, look, dude, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. But I want to calm you down. Okay? I know my gun is on you. And I know it looks like I'm gonna shoot you right in the face. But you got to understand. All I need you to do is get out of the car so we can sort this out. Instead of screaming in the guy's face, telling him he's about to ride the lightning and that he should be scared. All of that tough talk, to me, fucks everything up. Okay? If that guy should get in trouble for anything, it should be the tough talk. But does that mean getting fired? I don't think so. Minnesota is a shit show for the third night in a row. These people are pissed. There's some really awful video of the aunt. What do you say? Aunt or aunt? I say aunt. The aunt of the deceased. The dude who got shot. I should know his name. I feel kind of bad. Dante Wright. I don't want to not know his name. Yeah, it is Dante Wright. He was the guy that was shot, and his aunt is, oh my God, this was unbelievable. She was just so pained and anguished, and she's screaming from the top of her lungs, say his name, and then the people go, Dante Wright, and you got the civil rights attorney, Benjamin Crump, there. This guy is getting so much work. This guy is the go-to for these, and he's there, and he's, it's hard to say. You can't say anything about an anguishing mother. In fact, I just realized it is straight up 9 o'clock, so we got to bring my dad in for Dear Meathead before I get into this story and give you my 2 cents on this one. So let me bring my dad in here. If you have any questions for Dad, Jason, you indicated, want a phone call? Yeah, I think I will come back to you, Jason, for the third day in a row in just a bit. But let me get my dad on here, and we'll do it that way first because I got to do Dear Meathead. If you have any questions for Dad on Dear Meathead, please send them along, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and then we will do it. All right, let's bring him in right now.
Good morning, King of the Road.
King of the Road, huh? Hi, Dad. How are you?
Not bad. That's what you are, King of the Road.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Everything going okay today?
Well, I don't know. I just woke up about an hour ago. I went outside, walked around, got all wet because I guess some kind of dude set her on the grass.
Yeah, that happens for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, getting us started on today. Now, yesterday I talked to you, and apparently you, after you got the day started, you went outside and worked on the yard for like 10 hours. Isn't that right?
Yes, it was.
You know, I'm telling you, there's a real benefit to that. That's very, very good because all of that getting up and getting down and bending over, that's like really good exercise, Dad. That's what you do.
Yeah, it is, but it kind of, at the end of the day, it leaves a little pain in my back.
Right, because you worked.
On my knee, yeah, I'm down on my knees,
Yeah, you're probably better off because it's a little sore. That means you did something, and that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I feel sore. That's right. But that's all right. I mean, that's nothing that I cry about it.
Of course not. What Joanne seems to think that you are crying about it.
Joanne thinks a lot of things that I'm not even familiar with, so knock it off.
I know that Joanne does not complain about anything. She's a
laughing woman. Let me tell you that right.
Yeah. All right.
I'm blessed.
So here we go, Dad. I got a number of people who have questions for you. I want to get started and get right after it. Are you ready to go? I'm ready to go.
However, I say I am so lucky to have those people that are calling in.
Yes.
I mean, these people are just resiliently great.
What do you mean by resilient?
They're strong. Right there.
You make it sound like they've suffered some sort of setback.
No, they ain't suffering nothing. They're just full of love.
I noticed that you remember how I used to pick on you for saying embellish all the time?
Yeah.
I think your new word is resilient. Like,
yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, I
was looking at the dictionary. I saw the word. It sounded great.
Yeah.
So
well, I don't know if you're using it right. I mean, like if I show up at your house and go number 2 and come out of the bathroom,
I have a resilient number 2.
You're gonna say, "Hey, you're very resilient." I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't know if that works.
Hey. Well, I'm doing fine.
No, keep doing it. I love it.
Okay.
Okay, let's get after it. We got a number of people that have questions for you. John writes this: Dear Meathead, I saw a man sitting in a convertible with the top down, but he was holding an open umbrella to shield from the sun. Isn't that hilarious?
That guy is he doesn't know if he drove a little faster, he'd be airborne.
Yeah, I can picture it right now, Dad.
Hilarious I don't get it.
Yeah, it's probably not that funny. I think that the guy who wrote that is just trying to be a smart guy. That's really not that funny.
Now, was he driving?
No, I think he was just sitting there parked. And this guy,
I see. I thought he was driving.
Yeah, John here seems to think that that's really funny that the top is down, but he's holding an open umbrella.
Absolutely. The guy don't have 2 nickels to rub for brain.
Hold on, I got to write that down.
Yeah. He don't have 2 nickels to rub.
Yeah, I got it. He don't have 2 nickels to rub for brain.
Yeah.
Okay, that is excellent. Ryan writes, Dear Meathead.
Hi, Ryan.
He says, I'm going up north this weekend turkey hunting. Where we are, he says, where we are staying, there's no electricity or water. Everything is cooked over the fire. I'll have my camper, so some amenities, but I'm wondering what are some things I should definitely pack to make it a great weekend. Signed, Ryan.
Well, first of all, don't forget the blankets.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. There's no question.
Yeah, it's really going to be cold. My neighbor is going up there the same way, but he has a cabin. He's got to have a lot of Bud Light.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely a lot of Bud Light.
Yeah, but make sure that the Bud Light is used at night while he's going to be sitting around and not shooting a gun.
Okay, so when you say use the Bud Light, do you mean drink the Bud Light?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, very good.
And then you got to get up quite early, so and you got to be in bed earlier too. You can't get smashed and get up early in the morning with a hangover.
Yeah, so just maybe have a few beers, but don't get obliterated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you say, Joanne? Oh, Joanne said throw some oats on the ground. It'll bring in turkeys.
Wow. So like bait? Yeah, you could just open up the trailer or the camper and they'd be right there and just shoot them right in the face.
Sprinkle it around.
Yeah, you don't even have to leave the camper. You can just open up the window and shoot them from there.
In fact, you're out to shoot them. You just jump on them.
You don't even have to get cold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I don't know anything about
Remember
hunting.
those days?
It might be illegal, but whatever.
Yeah.
Dad, have you ever hunted any animal ever?
I'm thinking, no, I don't think so.
I know I couldn't do it.
Moles. I shot moles or I trapped them. Oh, I trapped moles.
You use like one of those little apparatus and it kills them, right? Right. Oh, okay.
I don't know if I killed them or not.
Yeah, they go in the ground. It's like a spring and it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had some over here. In fact.
Oh, yeah. That and mice.
I seen the earth moving, right? We came back from a store or something.
Yep.
We nailed it.
He was actually digging out, man. Those things are blind. So then if you let them have it, they don't even see it coming.
I got him.
Yep.
And then I hung him by his neck, put a stick out there, and then for my neighbor to see it.
You did?
Yes.
What are you, a caveman? Why would you do that?
I hated that sucker. Well, and it hung there for about 3 days.
Well, yeah, I don't. Most people, when they eliminate a pest, they don't show it off to the neighborhood.
I did. I had him right on the side of the house here, pointing at whatchamacallit, Ron's house.
Oh my God!
Well, Joanne is screaming.
Right. That's all right. That's all right. David writes this: Dear Meathead, I turn 50 very soon. My wife has informed me that we are going to we're going to rent somebody's house. It's called an Airbnb up in Grayling.
In Grayling?
Yeah. He says neither one of us has ever been to Grayling. What should we do with our time in Grayling? Maybe what restaurants should we eat at? And then he says, please embellish.
All right. The restaurant is, as you're entering Grayling, there is a restaurant there to the left-hand side when you're going northbound. And they got great food. Now, however, the greatest thing that I've enjoyed in my days, further north to the left, which is on the left side of the road, is a bar. Now, that I had enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, but they got delicious food.
And they have great food. And it says really booked. So get in there and find a seat as soon as you can. And they're good people. Of course, maybe they turn hand by now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Dad, I don't know, man. The folks at the Grayling Tourism Association might want to come to you because of the endorsement. Stop at restaurant on left, and for go to the bar on the left for food.
Oh, the restaurant has a bar and a food.
And then, of course, the fish fry.
Oh, yeah, their fish fry is just great.
All right. All right, that's all good. So check out restaurant and bar on left. I encourage you.
When you're northbound on our road.
Let me tell you, if you go to the American Legion, they got not everybody knows this, but they got a bowling alley in the Legion. There's only like 4 lanes. Go there, and if you rent the shoes from the guy, pay extra attention. Try to get him to laugh because he actually only has one visible tooth.
How did you figure that out?
Because I went there and we rolled on a Saturday night, and that guy, man, you wouldn't have believed it. I've never seen a mouth quite like that.
I never. He must be a new owner. I hung around this place frequently.
I definitely don't think he was the owner. I think he was just some guy. But all right. Here we go. Adam writes this: Dear Meathead, good morning and hello. My fiance and I are discussing vacation plans. if there were no restrictions and you could go anywhere in the world, where would you like to vacation? Signed, Adam and Michelle in Houghton Lake.
Oh boy, Houghton Lake in itself has got beautiful areas to vacation. I wonder.
Yeah, but they
why you'd want to go anywhere else.
Yeah,
but then again, when you live there, I guess you see it all the time.
Yeah, I think they want to kind of venture out a little. Dad, what do you think that they should do for their vacation?
I would really go the familiar area is the Upper Peninsula. It's further north than Grayling area.
Gotcha.
And they have just a little strip there that's got two or three, well, a little Copper Harbor area.
Yeah, it's excellent up there.
Yeah. It's just it's the greatness of that is just see the nature, really.
Yeah, the serenity is fantastic.
Yeah, it's comical, and then you stand at the lake there. Just enjoy it. I mean, you can't really put any kind of label on it.
Okay, got it.
But just to be out there in the open, it's just a really great feeling, you know.
Dad, okay, very good.
The area in northern Michigan is just a great place to be.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Dad, Stevie has a question. She is referring to the trial of the cop in Minnesota and George Floyd. Are you familiar with that?
Is that when they got put his knee on his neck?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
She wrote, "Hi, Ruben. Have you been watching the trial? If so, do you think the cop is guilty or innocent?"
I have not been watching the trial, but I'm familiar with the case. I think that guy had no business being a police officer. You do not put you can't do what he did. You arrested the guy. He's not fighting you. He's down on the ground. Why would you do that?
It's a great question. I feel the same way.
I mean, how idiotic is that?
Yeah, now I'm not a cop, so
Put
I don't know.
handcuffs on him and be done with it.
I feel the same way, but a lot of the people that work with the guy, his boss said, yeah, he screwed that up. That was horrible. He shouldn't have done that. To me, when I hear like the police chief and all the other experts say, yeah, he did it all wrong. The guy was done being a threat. He was handcuffed. He had no fight in him. He should have just been taken. I mean, I don't know why he did that. And everybody's, it was testifying against him. So I don't know how this cop is found not guilty. I'll be interested to listen to what the rest of
what it is. They found him not guilty?
No, they haven't.
No, they're not. He is guilty.
Right now, the defense is making their case. And then I don't know if there'll be like a cross-examination through all of that. But once that is done, a lot of people are saying that it wasn't the knee that killed the guy, but because he was stoned and he had drugs in him. He was a drug addict, this guy. And but all the experts are saying, well, still, it doesn't matter if he was on drugs or not, or if he was stoned. If this guy hadn't kneeled on him for almost 9 minutes, he wouldn't have died. He'd just be stoned. So I don't know.
No, this guy is guilty.
That's what I think too.
I mean, to me, he doesn't belong to be a police officer.
Yeah, and you know what though? If I think it'll be an upset if he's not guilty. If they say he's not guilty, but if they do say that, I think that's going to be a terrible thing in Minnesota. I think those people are going to lose their minds.
Well, mark my word for it, he's going to be found guilty.
Okay. Dad, Nathan writes this: "Dear Meathead, you always sound so happy. What is your secret? What is the key to happiness?"
Well, I'm not really always happy. I have some bad moments. I mean, I'm a human being. But my happiness is the fact that, for instance, this morning I got up at crack of dawn, went outside, and I was just pondering and walking on the work that I did yesterday and all that. And I really thought about how wonderful it is that I'm so lucky that I can freely walk around, enjoy the sunshine, and I'm thinking of the greatest thing. my wife will be awake in a little while because she was in bed, and she really lightens my day.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? You're saying all the right things right there, because I know she's sitting there loving to hear that.
Oh, that's a fact. Yeah, I'll cook breakfast. Yeah. If I didn't say that, I wouldn't eat breakfast.
Hey, yeah, you better. You better. You know what?
Up for the things that I say. I don't get it.
You know what you're doing right there, Dad? That's called counting your blessings.
Yes. No. I'll tell you what. I got the world's best wife ever. No one could have had a wife like that. In the worst moment of that I gave her a bad time, she's a lovable woman.
Yeah. Well, third time's a charm.
Well, first and last time.
Oh, the first two you were like, what am I doing? What is going on here? It was like fire and water, or oil. What do you say? Oil and gas, fire and water, oil and water. I have no idea. But anyway, it didn't work.
I call it gas and oil.
It just didn't work. All right. Dean writes this. Dear Meathead, he wants to know, are you putting in a garden this year? If so, what are you planting? Please embellish. Signed, Boring Dean.
Dean, that's my cup of tea. I have a garden that I already cleaned it up, ready to be planted.
Nice.
However, I got a rototiller. Now, I don't know what kind of dirt you put in there. I didn't have any special dirt. It was just a sand and whatever mixed.
Okay.
To your garden. But add some topsoil in there, some black dirt.
Yeah.
It's cheap. And,
you got to put some nutrient-rich soil because...
Yeah, you don't have to make it a little rich and all that because the garden grows in the dirt anyway. We put fertilizer.
Yeah, some plant food.
And then rototiller it deep.
Yep.
I have a Mickey Mouse rototiller, but I talked to my neighbor. They got regular rototiller, machine operated.
Uh-huh.
They brought it in and they rototiller. My garden isn't that big, but it's big enough to suffice.
Yeah.
Rototiller real good, couple, 3 times. And then level it and get the trash out, stones and all that as much as you can. Other than that, there's not a secret to that.
Well, I think you said it best, Dad, and I wrote it down. You said, the garden grows in the dirt anyways.
Yes. I mean, the stuff grows in the dirt.
Yeah, I know. And that's all you need is you just need the dirt.
And it's dirt.
Now, Dad,
and then,
Dad, I might have...
Some topsoil will help, but then again, it costs a lot of money to bring in topsoil.
Yeah. Dad, I might have touched on this earlier. I think I did. I remember vaguely, but we just heard another example of you describing something as Mickey Mouse.
I remember that.
That the rototiller is Mickey Mouse. What does it mean when something is Mickey Mouse?
Cheap crap. Cheap rototiller.
Okay, so that's a cheap rototiller. It's a Mickey Mouse rototiller. Yeah. But if you got pulled over by a cop, the cop might say, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And you said, and you might say to the cop, "I don't know, maybe some Mickey Mouse thing." What does that mean when you say that to the cop? That's a Mickey Mouse thing.
Mickey Mouse means like it's a stupid thing. Where did that? Is not a Mickey Mouse.
Okay. Wait, it's not?
No, it's almost a $400 machine.
Well, yeah, that's not a Mickey Mouse rototiller.
Oh, mine is not a Mickey Mouse machine. Oh, I misunderstood that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I got you.
No, this is top of the line. Is well lubricated, clean. But it's
okay. So
good, and you can do a huge garden.
Okay, so it's good, but it could be you could use the term Mickey Mouse because it's not that big. It's small.
No.
Yeah,
it's pretty big. It does. Oh my gosh. But it's on a small scale.
Right. Now, like your snowblower, that's small, so it's Mickey Mouse, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's all I was curious about. When did you start to use Mickey Mouse? Because I remember you saying this way back when.
Mickey Mouse has been on top of my language for a long time. But then again, for some reason, I got away from it, and I have not been using it.
Would you be okay if I used your image and took the words, "That's a Mickey Mouse rototiller," and put it on a T-shirt?
Yeah, but hey, that Mickey Mouse rototiller is going to be sold very shortly, and I don't want it to be considered as a Mickey Mouse.
Okay, well, we could say anything is Mickey Mouse. That's a Mickey Mouse.
You can do that. I don't care.
I can put you with the quote saying something Mickey Mouse on a T-shirt.
Better check with Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Disney.
Check with Warner Brothers.
I think it's Disney, but okay. All right. Let's see. Jesse writes this. Dear Meathead. Jesse. Jesse writes, Dear Meathead, I was offered a new job. An amazing opportunity. I am quitting my old job today, but I love the old job and I feel horrible leaving. I have a great relationship with my managers and the team, and I hold a lot of responsibility. I feel like I am going to let my manager down. He feels bad. What can you say to Jesse to make him feel better?
That's the wrong thinking. You've got to consider your own success, financial success first. Now, if your new job is something that financially, takes care of you much better than the other job did, you should probably somehow hint it. Maybe you can sweeten the pot a little bit more. Maybe I will stay. If that's not the case, financially you're not hooked up with that, okay, go ahead and change your job. But if it's the finances that you're leaving the job, you should ask him for it.
Right. Well, he's already made the decision.
Well, that's all right.
All he wants to do is not feel bad,
Well, hey, listen, consider your own happiness being number one.
Right.
If your job is not making you happiest, but paying you good money, and you're not happy and keep working in there, that's just not a good thing. You gotta like your job or be happy with your job.
Right.
It's important that you are happy with the job. When you're happy with a job, you'll do a good job.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Very good. That is sage advice, Jesse. Hopefully that was able to resonate with you.
Yes.
Yeah, Dad, I think that's it. Let me double check, make sure we don't have any more last minute questions coming in. But I think we've pretty much caught up and exhausted all of them. Yeah, Dad, that's going to do it for this edition of Dear Meathead.
Well, thanks a lot. But this is delightful morning because there's a lot of people have called in.
Yeah, yep.
This is the most I ever got.
Oh yeah, there's always a fair amount of people who love to ask you questions, Dad. So we're very blessed to have them.
I hope I tell them the right things.
I think you say all the perfect things. They just love to hear you talk, Dad. You can say anything and they'd love it.
All right. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay. Well,
what an awesome audience.
Well, Joanne, you have a good day. Dad, you have a good day. I love you guys very much. Okay.
All right. Likewise, and say hello to family. Hug your wife. And tell her that we love her too.
Yep. I hope to see you in May. April's terrible, but hopefully in May we'll be able to make something happen.
I hope so. I miss you, honey.
Plus, it's crazy right now. Everybody's sick with this stupid virus, so I don't.
I know.
I don't know. It's just weird. Okay. I love you very much.
I love you too. And then God bless you. And on a normal basis, we'll talk next week.
Okay. Talk to you guys. See ya.
Goodbye, audience. Love you all.
There he goes. Dear Meathead, another Rip Roaring edition of Dear Meathead. Oh my gosh. Don't have 2 nickels to rub for a brain. Make sure you use the Bud Light, but you don't use too much of the Bud Light. The garden grows in the dirt anyway. And the overusage of resilient and the usage of Mickey Mouse. All fantastic things. Always spectacular. Dear Meathead, brought to you by JM Synthetics. Online at jmsynthetics.com. What the hell? So much fun. Thank you to everybody who wrote in. I appreciate that. Hey, I would love to promote your business, okay? This is what you do. Send me an email on the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and say, tell me all about it. I want to know more. And I can make that happen for you, tell you how the sponsorships work. That doesn't cost you anything for me to tell you all that information. It's I'll basically tell you who's listening, where they're listening, what the reach is of the podcast, whether or not it's worth your time or money, and then I'll put you into an affordably priced plan. I have a lot of sponsors who would love to be talked about on the radio, but it's just too damn expensive, and it's just not worth it these days. So I'm about a tenth of the cost of radio, and I can make you very, very happy and get that word out to the audience so that they know about your business. Just reach out, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Thank you, as always, to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. 616-532-6600. You can start the business that way. Your business with them that way. The phone call, Bruce or Megan, maybe Jamie will pick up the phone. Yeah, you're going to describe in that awkward way the rattles and the noises that the car is making, or maybe you just need an oil change. And they'll say, okay, drop it off. You do just that. You don't really see anybody. You can just drop off the car and put the keys in the box and what you want done or what you want checked. You go home. They email you the laundry list of things that are wrong with it. There's a green button and a red button. The green button means fix it. The red button means leave it alone. Okay. Then they get that email. They fix. Then they send you back a detailed explanation of everything else that's going on. By the way, when they send you the, hey, here's what's wrong, they back it up with like pictures to show you the problems and things like that. They're actually showing you what is the matter with the car. Okay. And you get all that information, and then you approve the work, and then they do the work, and then you pay the bill. You go, you pick up the car. You don't even need to see anybody. You can pick the car up after hours because the key goes in a lockbox. They give you a special code, and off you go. It's fantastic. If the car stays there overnight, it gets put inside the facility so nobody does anything to the car. Everything's safe and sound and awesome. Love my friends at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, servicing domestic Asian vehicle and European, domestic, Asian, and European vehicles, everything but Volkswagens. At Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Hang on. Okay. So Virginia Army guy is kind of like been pushed to the back seat now because of the Dante Wright story, the 20-year-old who was pulled over for expired plate. Cops say, hey, Dante, we got a warrant on you. You're going to end up going to jail. Dante gets back in the car, tries to break free from the cops. Cop pulls out her pistol, shoots the guy dead. He drives a couple blocks, and then he dies. Holy shit. She said, by the way, when she pulled it, she said, taser, taser, taser. And then she shot him. Chief says, yep, she mistook a taser. She mistook the gun for the taser. I don't think anybody in the black community in Minnesota believes that. I think the people there who are very raw and emotional believe that she just killed him because she wanted to kill him, which, of course, I don't believe that. But you got to understand where they're coming from. You've got some real heartache going on there, so I can understand the anguish and the pain and the aunt freaking out on TV. Oh boy, that was rough. Overnight, the cop stepped down, and the chief of that community police, I forget what the name of that community is, about 10 miles from Minneapolis, about 10 miles from where the trial is for Chauvin. I mean, of all the places for this shit to happen, my God. He stepped down. Oh, fuck. What an absolute mess. And then the trial for Chauvin is now the defense is calling their witnesses. And they had a guy on there yesterday who said, oh, yeah, this was absolutely reasonable force. And I don't know how you say that with a straight face. I don't know how you can get somebody on the stand saying, yeah, this was reasonable force that he used. And I'm like, how? No, I'm not a cop. I don't know. But I saw other cops, including the chief of police, say, no, that wasn't reasonable. To me, that's the nail in the coffin in this. I would be shocked if this guy actually is found not guilty. I really would. So we've had great success bringing in the Jason, who is hauling more concrete, and in a past life, he was fighting crime in a community here in West Michigan. And he said, hey, man, you want me to participate again? I'm like, absolutely. So the only way he would not be able to participate if he's actually at the job site pushing a button and the concrete is going down the slide with the spinny thing and pouring.
Your call has been
forwarded
to an...
That's okay. No big deal. We'll just pick up the pieces, come back to that later, or touch on it at another time. No biggie. Don't sweat it. But, yeah, so all of that broke overnight that she is now stepping away and the chief of police is stepping down. I don't know, man. I don't know if I don't even know what that does. I mean, I imagine that the people are pissed off, are saying, all right, yeah, absolutely, you should step down, but they probably want a criminal proceeding to take place on the woman who killed the kid, the 20-year-old dude. And I don't know if that's going to happen because of the way she yelled, taser, 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 after she shot him and he sped away. She's heard on the camera saying, my God, I just shot that guy. And so, holy crap. Nick writes, subject line, remember, all there has to be is reasonable doubt. Referring to Chauvin. He says, my personal opinion, he's guilty of manslaughter, not murder. Maybe. And you're right. All that they have to do is prove reasonable doubt that he didn't try to, because if the charge is murder on Chauvin, we're saying you tried to kill that guy. That is a strong thing to try to, I mean, that is not easy to do. And, yeah, you might be right there. And if they don't convict him of murder, I think that city is going to burn, and I think that a lot of cities are going to burn. I think that any major metropolitan city, even not major, where I live, Grand Rapids is going to burn. And because remember, Grand Rapids burned because he died. If they find this guy anything but guilty of murder, of what he's charged with, I think cities are going to burn. Grand Rapids will burn. Kalamazoo will burn. Lansing will burn. Muskegon will burn. Hudsonville will not burn. But all of these cities will burn. That's what I believe. And that's horrible. And I wonder if that, if the jurors feel that pressure. I wonder if that creeps into their brain. And I also wonder, does this incident happening 10 miles away, does that make it troublesome for this court case? You know, is there some type of, because it's so close and the similarities to it racially, if that affects things? And I wonder if that's being discussed about how it could possibly affect the case. All right. That's all I got for you on that. Thank you so much for your participation. If you have any questions or comments, Eric@ericzaneshow.com. I would love to hear from you. Let's see. We will announce an asshole of the day. I've got to catch up on a couple of ads here. I apologize for this. First of all, I do want to mention that Patreon is still there and ready for you. 13, 14 hours of content each and every week on my Patreon. I would love you to sign up for it. Patreon.com/EricZane. Got the bonus podcast each and every day. The Lost Zane recordings. the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast with the live Zoom audience. If you're on Patreon, you can be part of the show, okay? You are actually part of the show in a live Zoom. That's so much fun. You get to vote on Ben's shitty Twitter jokes, which I said to him, I go, Ben, we need more of these shitty jokes. Most of them suck. The audience votes whether or not they're a good joke or a bad joke. Ben sits there all awkward while I read his shitty jokes that he writes on a daily basis. I'm telling you, Ben is too influenced by comedian Mark Norman, who is another terrible dad joke writer, okay? And all he does is write shitty dad jokes. The problem is, I don't know how he pulls it off. For some reason, when Norman writes them, I mean, first of all, he's a better joke writer, so I get them, but they're also shitty. Ben's, I don't even understand what he writes half the time. My God. That's all part of my Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Get your guns repaired at BK Guns and Stuff. Find them on Facebook, BK, the letter B, the letter K, guns, letter N, stuff. BK Guns and Stuff, 616-902-2447 for repairs, cleaning, customization, firearms transfers, all that stuff. Reach out to those hillbillies. They will fix your firearm. Not a hillbilly is Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling, installing the Comfort Maker brand of furnaces and air conditioners. Joe struck out on his own after working for the man. Now he is the man. And since he is the man, he doesn't have much overhead, which means you're paying a lot less for any type of heating and cooling work that he will do. Keep him in mind for an after-hours service call, 616-516-8579. And he wanted me to stress to you that you have until the end of April to schedule him on a AC tune-up at $10 off. Normally, this is $79. You're going to get it for $69 through April. So call now. Stop listening to the podcast and call Senor Martinez, 616-516-8579. Say,
Tu madre es una puta.
When he picks up, and he will laugh and give you an extra $1 off when you say,
Tu madre es una puta.
That's him teaching you how to say your mother's a whore.
Tu madre es una puta.
In Spanish. You're going to say, Tu madre es una puta when he picks it up. And then he's going to realize you are a Zane Show podcast listener.
Tu madre es una puta.
I think he was drunk. I think he was like 6 or 7 Dos Equis in when he came up with that.
Tu madre es una puta.
It's kind of slurring, you know?
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
If you can master, go fuck yourself.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
He'll really laugh at that. And then finally,
Lame mi palo con tu culo.
Suck my dick with your butt.
Lame mi palo con tu culo.
Thank you, Joe. 616-516-8579. All right. The hell am I? I want to share something with you. I forgot who sent this along. This is a screen share that I'll fire up in just a second. There's a mystery that is baffling scientists. This is really strange. This is, to me, proof that the aliens aren't far. And the aliens are, in fact, communicating, in this case, with sheep. Okay. So this guy is riding his bike somewhere in England. Okay. And then in the distance, there's a hillside. And it's all dirt. And the sheep are kind of like grazing on the hillside. And you remember ever seen in a lot of parts of the world, England and Europe, crop circles? Okay. And you know, that started to be a thing. You would hear about crop circles in the 90s. And then there was the idea floated, the theory that is those are aliens that did that. And there's no explanation otherwise other than aliens did it. And then they debunked that and said, no, that's not the case. Well, I never believed that it was debunked. I believed that it was, in fact, aliens, and that the debunking was just needed to be debunked. The debunking needed to be debunked. It was, in fact, aliens that are talking to other celestial beings that are flying around in UFOs. I believe that shit, okay? So, all right. This is being described, what I'm going to share with you on the live stream, not as a crop circle, but as a flock circle. The sheep are standing in the shape of an elaborate crop circle, appropriate distances, and it's all like symmetrical and perfect. You know how like when you look at those crop circles, you're like, wow, look at that. The sheep are standing that way. And the guy's on his bike, and he goes, what is going on? Because typically he'll show up there, and the sheep are everywhere, just being sheep, being really noisy and loud and eating and doing their thing. First of all, they're in a pattern. Sheep. These are hundreds of sheep in a pattern. Perfect. And they're quiet. Normally they're going, everybody's making noise, and they're eating and shitting on each other and having sex and, being sheep. They're in a perfect circle, and they're silent. Okay. There is only one explanation. They are being controlled by aliens. That is my belief. The aliens have now graduated from crop circles to actually controlling the sheep. Okay, let's take a look at this. Here we go. Let me get rid of the chats. No, the chat wasn't there. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Oh, my God. A dad out for a bike ride was baffled after spotting a flock of sheep gathered in a circle. What the hell is going on? There's another image, too. A little bit bigger. It's pretty much the same. But look at that. Look at that from a distance. Look at this. Oh. Okay, and I think that that's just the creepiest fucking thing in the world. Let me just say that if I'm on a bike ride and I'm always seeing the same thing over and over, the same sheep, all like milled around, making a whole bunch of noise, and then on any given day, I just happen to be on a ride, and they're no longer just milling around. They're in a perfect circle with like paths through it, just like a crop circle, and they're now quiet. That's the creepiest thing in the world. I'm going to bust out my pistol and just start to shoot them right now because I know that they're plotting a takeover of the world. He said that the way this guy says, 47-year-old guy says, yeah, I was on my bike. I saw it. I was a half mile away, and which made me think that it was huge. It was saucer shaped like an alien ship. And it was beautiful, but also a bit too weird for comfort. I bicycled a little bit closer and realized that the circle was made of sheep. The dude, a lecturer at Royal Holloway University, biked past the flock every day, but said he's never seen them behave this way. They're usually very noisy, but this day, very quiet, still, and calm. They were in a trance. It was eerie. Okay. He then shared the image on Facebook where other users have since tried to work out why the sheep behave that way. There's a lot of debate as to whether it was a crop or a flock circle or if the sheep were being summoned by a strange force. Well, of course they were. We know that. Others thought they might be pranking the farmer. We all agreed it was a mystery that warranted the recall of Mulder and Scully. Fuck, man. Come on. This shit scares the hell out of me. Man. Terrible joke from Incognito. They were Muslim sheep doing a circle around the Kaaba. Shut up. While that's all going on, I see a conversation taking place. This is what is crazy. Here we are talking about something super, super important, the flock circle, and Dirk is talking about the NRA and firearms. This is the beauty of the show. And I don't have any problem with any of that because we have now inspired a discussion amongst the Zaniacs who are having a great time doing just that. That's how the show works. Thank you for that. Kenny, I'm sure, does not like it. Dirk says, I just jumped into a conversation. Absolutely. That's how it works, man. I appreciate that. All right. Maybe I need to be more interested about the sheep in the circle, perhaps. Okay. Speaking of Dirk, and who is in Florida, Dirk has been, here in Michigan, where it is like one of the hot spots, or it is the hot spot for COVID. And then a lot of the folks who have been talking saying, yeah, you in Michigan, you're there, your governor's an asshole. She killed all these businesses. And for what? Look what's happening now. And I don't think anybody has an explanation on that. And so why that is. And people can try to speculate, but I don't think anybody knows shit. And I use that as a jumping off point because as I've been taking my lumps about this, the idea has been like, look at Florida, they're wide open. Look at Texas, they're wide open. Yes. And the idea has been like, and those states are not doing as bad as Michigan. Florida is on the rise right now. Florida is seeing a big spike. They were down to like 3,000 or 4,000 cases a day, which is not much at all for them. It's like 20 million people live in Florida. But now they're seeing a surge in recent days. Like for the past week, it's been going up. And so my point is this. It isn't to say, aha, you were wrong. It's not. I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. And I honestly think I'm starting to get to the point that this might be with us for a long, long time or forever. I have no idea. Very, very strange. There's also a story going around that I saw that I want to share with you. What would you say if I told you that there was something that we could have actually as part of our body that could detect if we have COVID? And what would you say if there was a treatment that could filter all of the COVID out of your body? What would you say about that? Well, this was on 60 Minutes. And again, Dirk has been all over the place sending me stories, and I appreciate it. And he writes, what could go wrong? But I'm all for this. I love this. The Pentagon is unveiling a microchip that they're going to install in people that can sense COVID in the body. If you remember, the aircraft carrier, the USS Theodore Roosevelt, was the site of a massive outbreak, okay? And so the Pentagon scientists have invented a microchip that they would put under your skin that will detect if the patient develops COVID-19. This is brilliant. This is a game changer. You should all get this done if it becomes available. If you don't, you're not an American. You need these devices installed, these microchips. This is a real thing. I'm not bullshitting here. They have also developed a revolutionary filter that can remove the virus from the patient's blood through a dialysis machine. Researchers at the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, say they've been working for years on ways to prevent and to end pandemics. So this has been in the works. I know some of you, maybe only one or two of you, are thinking this is crazy, but I know the lion's share of the audience would be all about sticking microchips in their body. Their work on the microchip was revealed on 60 Minutes on Sunday night. Retired Colonel Matt Hepburn, an Army infectious disease physician leading DARPA's response to the pandemic, showed off the technology on the show. The idea for the invention came after 1,271 infections were recorded on board the aircraft carrier back in 2020. The microchip does not track movements. I don't care if it does. I don't even care if it does. I don't care what it does. I just want to be safe. Is carried in a tissue-like gel and designed to continuously test the patient's blood. You put it underneath your skin, and what that tells you is that there are chemical reactions going on inside the body, and that signal means you are going to have symptoms tomorrow. So you put like on a watch, and that says, hey, tomorrow you're going to start to show symptoms. So then you get away from people, and then you go to the room where the COVID dialysis machine is. You plug in, and then boom, COVID is gone. What could go wrong? There's probably none of you that would ever do this. I'm being a total asshole. But it is pretty cool. He added, it's like a check engine light. Sailors would get the signal, then self-administer a blood draw and test themselves on site. We can have that information in 3 to 5 minutes. As you truncate that time, as you diagnose and treat, what you do is you stop the infection in its tracks. So they're serious about this. The colonel also told the show that his team had invented a filter for the dialysis to remove the virus from the blood. It's a 4-day treatment had been given to someone known as Patient 16, the spouse of a military member who was dying. This guy was dying. He was an organ failure, septic shock. And it worked. Within days of the treatment, the patient made a full recovery. The treatment has now been approved by the FDA for emergency use. I know some of you guys like Dirk and Nick and Dean are like, emergency use is not FDA approval. I know. I mean, well, what could go wrong? I mean, look at the Johnson & Johnson. That was approved for emergency use. Seriously. There's 6 people that got blood clots from the Johnson & Johnson. 6. 1 died. That happens all the time with vaccines. What the fuck are you people so worried about? The only reason, when they pause that, you know what they're going to do? Nothing. They pause it. They tap their foot for 2 weeks, and then they go, all right, back to business. All that's done is to calm everybody down. They wouldn't have said anything. Nothing would have happened if this story hadn't gotten out. If the story hadn't gotten out that the 6 people had a bad reaction, 1 died, nothing would have happened. There have been plenty of reactions to the vaccine, to any of the vaccines. There's always anomalies with any vaccine, right? I mean, isn't that true? Do we not hear about people who take a vaccine and then something goes haywire and the body reacts poorly? That does happen. But we're talking 6 people out of more than 6 million. Somebody posted that more people have been killed in gender reveals in the last year than killed by the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So nothing's going to happen. They put it on pause, make a big deal about it. You wait. Everybody forgets. Something else happens in the world. And then you bring it back. And then it's business as usual. That's what's going to happen. It's not like they're going to do anything to it. They're going to make any changes to it? No. Come on. It's all bullshit. As always, you can email the show, eric@ericzaneshow.com. And you can leave me an email, which could be the email of the day. And I don't have one. And you know what that means when I don't have one? I scramble to try to find one. And if I'm scrambling to try to find one, the most recent one could be, in this case it is, from someone who we don't want to be reading from. That would be Emailer Tim. Now, I've not read this. I am not pre-reading it. I'm just sharing it. Tim writes, easy fix for reducing deaths caused by police. Now, this already screams to me ignorance. I have an easy fix. It's a crazy concept and a little out of the box thinking, but hear me out. Stop resisting arrest. Stop fighting with the cops. 100% of the time I've done what the cops have told me, I haven't been killed. Crazy. Well, hold on. First of all, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to being a black guy being pulled over by a cop. Okay? It's easier said than done. I can't get into the mind of anybody who's been injured or shot or pepper sprayed or killed. I can't tell you that. All I can tell you is we haven't taken one step in their shoes. So all I can say is that I cannot relate to what they're going through, and they just might be scared. They might be. I don't know. The guy seemed to say that. The Army lieutenant, he actually said, I'm scared. And the cop said, you better be scared. It's a little weird. Yeah, so easier said than done, Tim. I don't know if I can give you asshole of the day or email of the day or asshole of the day for that. I'm also seeing right now a guy I just mentioned on the show last week. Bernie Madoff is dead. Bernie Madoff that's crazy. We just talked about that guy, and he has died in prison. And there isn't a damn person in the world who feels bad about that. This guy was such a piece of shit. What an unbelievable white-collar criminal. The worst of the worst. Holy crap. He has passed away at however old, 80-something, of something terrible, no doubt. What a sad, sad way to go. Took all those people's money, too. My God. If I ever do get an email of the day, and Tim, I'm sorry, it just can't be. I'm going to have to not give you that, but if we ever do, the email of the day is brought to you by my friends at Forever Law in West Michigan. Online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. Maybe this. BJ writes this. I'm catching up on the podcast. Hoping you're doing well. Sorry for not having written sooner. Recently, you discussed Deshaun Watson's story and whether or not you felt he was innocent or guilty. The story takes me to one word, guilty. Sure, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And anytime anybody says that, and I do this too, you know they're about to say, yeah, sure, innocent, but until proven guilty, but he's guilty. But the old statement, where there's smoke, there's fire, often rings true, and this motherfucker's engulfed in flames. If it were one or two women, maybe even three, I could see it being a money grab or even go as far as thinking that they could be in cahoots together with their story to extort money. But when you have 21 women coming forward claiming sexual assault, rape, for allowing him to bang his cock on some part of their body, that's a despicable, deceitful, and sex-craved bastard. He's going to have his day in court, but it would be a waste of taxpayers' money. P.S. I did get the Quado reference as well. P.S.S. I freaking love that Jessica voice you do when telling stories. I damn near spit my coffee on my computer the other day when you mentioned her and Kenny. Keep it up. Signed, BJ. All right. And then there was the discussion. Well, why did Deshaun Watson, how come if there was 21 women saying, yeah, he's a complete creep, and there's 18 that said he wasn't? Somebody made the point, and I had thought this too, but just never voiced it. Well, maybe they were ugly. Maybe those were massage therapists that he wasn't interested in sexually. That's a possibility too. So go fucking have yourself a shot of fucking Fireball. Been too long since we've had Jessica on the show. Still toying with the idea of doing the Zane Asylum Patreon edition only, hosted by Kenny and Jessica, the hot new radio tandem. This would not make its way to the radio. It would have to do with a special edition of Kenny only music for the Insane Asylum. And let me tell you, I've got a little comment about the Insane Asylum coming up that I want to talk about some of the music that was sent my way. Apparently, Kenny is not the only one that is sending horrible music. And I say this not knowing how this person will respond, but I have to weigh in on this, because if I'm going to give Kenny shit about horrible music, if somebody else sends horrible music, I need to talk about it. And I'm going to get to that in a second. And we have the asshole of the day, so raise your virtual hands on the live stream. Tell me who you think should be the asshole of the day. Send it along right now on the live stream in a comment, and I'll go back and check it out. But first, we're getting ready to start planting stuff outdoors. Horizon Hydroponics. You might be getting ready to have the most beautiful, bountiful cannabis harvest in the world. Michigan, easily the greenest state in the union. And you can do it. You can grow this in your backyard. You can put a whole damn field. Like you ever see the movie The Beach? When DiCaprio wanders into the holy shit, where am I? Those stalks are like 15 feet high. Holy shit. You can do that in your backyard in Michigan now. Can you imagine your neighbors like, what is going on here? What are you doing? Horizon Hydroponics. And you don't have to be in Michigan. You can be anywhere, because their online platform means you can buy their products from anywhere in the 48. HORIZEN hydroponics.com. HORIZEN hydroponics.com. I take that back. That's anywhere in the United States. It's Cornhole America. That's like, wait a minute. It's a little far away. HorizonHydroponics.com. Buy anything online. Over $250 is your order. That means the shipping is free. Use the coupon code ZaneShow at checkout. Save you 10%. If you buy it online and use my coupon code, you can pick it up in the store if you want. You don't have to have it shipped to you. They got store in Grand Rapids on Alpine, Growers Outlet in Byron Center, Kalamazoo, and Lansing. Thank you, Horizon Hydroponics. Let's play some cornhole. Having a party? Get yourself a set of high-quality professional cornhole boards with whatever you want on it. Any logo you want. It does not matter what you're thinking. Just tell them, and they'll make it happen. You can do a custom board for a wedding, maybe the initials of the newlyweds, something like that. You're having an outdoor wedding. Wouldn't that be great? People having a good time, because at weddings, only three things to do: sit, be bored, dance to shitty music, or get drunk. Okay? Wouldn't it be nice to frickin' throw some bags, take a couple of puffs, and bet some money? There you go. Sounds like a good time finally at a stupid wedding. You can also check with Cornhole America about fundraising. They do fundraising events for whatever it is you're raising money for. A sick kid, neighbor down on his luck, you name it. You can do a fundraiser for it with Cornhole America. Just reach out to them on their website, cornholeamerica.com. By the way, I have tickets to give away for the West Michigan Ironmen football games. That's the indoor football team that I work for at Mercy Health Arena in Muskegon. Okay? The football team is owned by Mario of the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. There's a Zaniacs suite, okay? Appropriately spaced apart. You can go, because you can do that. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but they are actually still allowing, there's no restrictions. They opened up the state a little bit, and they're not shutting it down. Whitmer is like, I'm not doing that this time. I'm just hoping and praying that the cases drop. So, all right, that's the game plan. The games are going to happen. In fact, there is a football game. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but they start playing in about 10 days. I think not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that, they're playing football. And I can have, I think, 10 Zaniacs at the games. So just bear that in mind. I'll be giving away those tickets to the West Michigan Ironmen. Okay, hang on. Oh, damn it. Oh, that was special. I think there's another one in there. It's trying to get out. Don't you hate that? Oh, God. This all comes up. Hang on, there's another one. Oh, God. Now it's stuck. Oh, that's a horrible feeling. This all comes up because Mario, in addition to owning the football team, he is the man behind Van Dyke Mortgage, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. You need a mortgage, call upon Mario. Check out his website by going to mine, ericzaneshow.com. Click on his emerald green logo. Looks just like that. NMLS number 3035, or call him up, 231-332-6505. Get into the mortgage before you even think about looking for a house. And make sure that when you're looking for a house, you go with one that's a bit lower than the mortgage that you have, that you've been pre-approved for, because it's going to turn into a bidding war. I can promise you that. It's so crazy right now, the housing market. Okay. I gave Kenny a ton of shit over his insane asylum list. I want you to know, Kenny, that I am including 2 of your songs on this week's list. I had a list, but there wasn't enough on it, so I had to pull from somebody else. I pulled a little bit from Bob Q, whose list was pretty good. I pulled 2 songs from yours. Jet City Woman by Queensryche, great band, very underrated. And Animal by Pearl Jam. I don't even know if you like those songs. I think you might have just given me those songs because you thought it might fit on the show. But anyway, I included them, so thank you for that. But this isn't about your shitty taste in music. I cannot, with a clear conscience, give you any degree of shit and then not give any degree of shit to someone who sent out a list that isn't as bad as yours, but does have some shit to it. Okay, hang on. One of your one of the Nashville, Tennessee listeners also sent in a list. And this pains me because this guy is so sweet and so amazing. He's just like you, Kenny, the sweetest soul in the world. He's not like you because he doesn't bitch about everything. And so there's that. But this actually pains me that I have to do it. But Aram, my Armenian brother, your list was absolute schizophrenic nightmare. Some of these songs were okay, but a lot of them just stunk. Now, I know the Insane Asylum is supposed to be full of like different songs and a little bit weird, but I just could not get behind a number of these. The tempo, the vibe, the feeling, a lot of these were like on a soft rock AC station. All That You Have Is Your Soul by Tracy Chapman. Oh, God, you might as well rip off your dick and balls and put it on a shelf. That sucked so bad. You followed it up with a terrific artist by the name of Rodriguez, Searching for Sugar Man. But the song you picked, Hate Street Dialogue, is so out of left field. I could not commit to Hate Street Dialogue. I like the song, but it's just too fucking weird. Okay, then you finally had a good one with J.J. Gray and Mofro, On Fire. Great song. Then, how can you follow up J.J. Gray and Mofro with Concrete Blonde's Joey? What? Are you crazy? I would get run out of the room and be fired from a job that I don't even get paid for if I played Concrete Blonde's Joey, you asshole. Okay, then I'm thinking, well, maybe this song by Pink Floyd. Now, this is when Pink Floyd each band member was like 12 years old. Candy and the Currant Bun is a dumpster fire. That is a terrible, terrible song by Pink Floyd. It is so weird. No one likes it. And I was like, come on, man. Are you trying to make a shitty list? So of the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs, one is usable. And I listened to every one of them like, this is just pathetic. And then he pulls out Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of. And now I know you said, hey, is a song with expletives okay? And I said, yeah, I can clean it up, but I can't clean that up because the last 2 minutes of the song is Zach De La Roca saying, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. And then he ends with, motherfucker! Now, if I do the old edit job on that, it's going to sound so fucking weird. One bad word is okay, maybe two, but all of that, I couldn't use it. Okay, so that's now yet another song that isn't getting used. Flogging Molly, The Devil's Dance Floor, which has an actual fife in it. Oh, come on, man. Dude, maybe for St. Patty's Day, but no, that was shitty. Then you know what he did? He busts out Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen? Are you crazy? And I'm like, wait, maybe it's a different Leonard Cohen. Nope, it's Leonard Cohen's Suzanne. I'm like, dude, how do you expect a Leonard Cohen song to work on a classic rock station, you asshole? What the fuck is wrong with you, Aram? Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs, 7 of which suck shit. That is even worse than Kenny. Okay? That is the worst start. There was at least more than one song in the first 7 that I actually thought were somewhat acceptable of Kenny's. You have set a new record that was the dog just hit the camera, for starting futility. There is a very difficult, a very slim chance you're going to be able to recover from this. Let's see how he did. Filter. Hey, man, nice shot. All right. Good song. I can work with that. Hang on. He then went to Ray Charles, What I Say, parts 1 and 2. Now, that's a great song. But there's no way in hell I'm going to play Ray Charles right after Filter's Hey Man, Nice Shot. No way, no how. I'm not doing it. Forget it. All My Life by Evan Dando. I was bored within 1 second. I hated that. The Distance by Cake. I kept that one in. Galactic's Dalla Diva featuring David Shaw and Maggie Kerner. Nope, couldn't do that. These are all terrible, terrible songs, Aram. What is going on? His last 5, maybe he can salvage it. Alice in Chains, Don't Follow, off of Jar of Flies. Excellent song. I kept that. You are a Jekyll and Hyde, okay? At least Kenny, he's consistently terrible. I don't even know what to think. Then he goes with Kid Rock's Only God Knows Why, which I left in there. Even that song to me is kind of wonky. Just the whole auto-tune thing is a little weird on it, but I did keep it in. He has a big swear in it, but I took that out. No big deal. He went to a classic song, 1974, Elton John, John Lennon live, Madison Square Gardens. I saw her standing there. You have to keep that in. And then you finished terribly with REM's Find the River off of Automatic for the People. That song sucks. And then Modest Mouse. Are you crazy, Modest Mouse? Aram, this is awful. I kept only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs. 6 songs out of 18. That's horrible. It's not as bad as Kenny, but oh my God. This is just terrible. It hurt my soul to have to see this. Man. That is a messed up list, Aram. Dirks gives us advice. Before you submit your shitty music list, check out the station and see what their format is. They know that. They listen to the Insane Asylum. They know it's all rock. He says, choose a variety of material that would fit and throw in a couple that you want to hear. Ugh. Adam says, I'm behind because I'm driving. They play that stupid Joey song on the queue all the time. Thank you for not adding it to your list. That particular Filter song was about a reporter blowing himself away on TV. That happened? Incognito writes, Leonard Cohen's inappropriate unless you're watching a Christian Slater movie. All right. That is incredible. Pink Floyd's first 3 albums were all acid. Lots and lots of acid. Aram, I don't want you to feel bad about that. I know you're a sensitive soul. You tried, but you got to go back to the drawing board. I will give everybody a chance to redeem themselves. Even Kenny. If Kenny wants to try again without giving me Seattle's greatest hits and the shitty music that I have to cue in 30 seconds to get to the good part, you can always try again on the Insane Asylum. You really can. But, boy, that was rough. Thanks to Bob Quain. He gave a pretty damn good list, which I'll kind of review that a little later on. I don't want to get into that right now, but Bob saved the day with some more music that was able to fill the void of the leftover music. By the way, I am no longer doing the ride-in song of the day, and here's why. About 300 episodes ago, I actually posted to the free podcast a version of I did the Insane Asylum for the free audience so they could get an idea of what it is. And the Audio Boom platform actually pulled the episode. And this was probably a year and a half ago that I posted that. And it took this long for them to notice it. And they sent me an email saying, sorry, but you cannot post copyrighted material. So I thought I had been like hiding it, and that maybe I could get away with it because I wasn't posting it on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter or anything. But Audio Boom hammered me on that and took it down. So now I'm like holding my breath that all those episodes that I featured the Ride Into Work song, that those are going to be eventually pulled from the Audio Boom, which is my platform that gets spit out to all the other podcasting platforms. So I hope not, but we'll see. So just to be sure, I am no longer going to put the ride-in song of the day. Just can't do it. I can't risk it. I can't have big swaths of my material just suddenly get eliminated like that. So I don't want that to happen. Hang on. John says, no way, man. The Filter song was about Kurt Cobain. That's according to Richard Patrick. And then N follows it up with, edit that. A reporter caused a guy guilty of political corruption to shoot himself at the end of a press conference on TV. That, I think, is correct. And I know what you're talking about. He was in Minnesota, and I saw it, and he had the gun in a bag, and he pulled it out and shot himself. It was horrible. Jesus. You never answered the question, Eric. I didn't see the question. You're pulling a Kenny right now, Nick. Did I say Nurk? I combined Dirk and Nick to give you Nurk. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Bud Dwyer was the name of the guy who shot himself. That's what I remember. In fact, now that you say it, I remember that. Eric should play some old school Julius rock from his BBL rejoins. Yeah, that's on the Lost Zane recordings. It's all there. I hated all of that. Julius's stupid Julius rock. Yeah, I don't know what question you're referring to, buddy. You got to understand. And I yell at Kenny about this all the time. When you write on the comments, Nick, you dummy, you never answered my question, Eric. I don't know what you're fucking talking about. You got to give me fucking context. How many times do we have to go through this? About dedicating a song to someone? No, don't do that. I'm not going to put inside jokes on the podcast, Nick, you dummy. Or on the Insane Asylum. It's a radio show. Jason says, sorry for not being able to take the call. All right, asshole of the day. Let's get to the asshole of the day right now. Yesterday, if you recall, was the Save the Trees, morons. They are out. Who is it going to be today? Patriot Nick. Dean says Patriot Nick. No, it should not be Patriot Nick just because of that. Just quickly scanning as best I can. Asshole of the day, yellow shirt guy. The guy who he got hit. So what did you expect him to do? Why would he be the asshole? I'm a little confused by that one, Stevie. That's the guy who in the AAU basketball game was shooting a video and saying something. We don't know what he's saying. He could be telling a guy to go fuck his mother. All right. That's a nominee for that. Patriot Nick seconds himself. I got a nominee for Mickey Mouse. I don't know who it's going to be here. I'm having a hard time seeing it. All right, let's go over what we did, and then perhaps it will be able to pop from there. Could it be Amanda and Kenny for that stupid feud? Look, I am getting sick and tired of Amanda and Kenny acting like they don't want to have vicious butt sex. I am sick and tired of them playing coy. Would you guys just get together and have a full weekend of boning and get it out of your systems? I am sick and tired of having to put up with this lie. Could it be the MRI operator who did not actually call Diana? Someone involved in the AAU fight could be involved. Virginia Army guy? Nah, I don't think so. Any of the players in Minnesota? I don't know about that. Could it be the military for wanting to put microchips in people? I have no idea. I think I'm going to narrow it down to the person who did not call Diana for the MRI to cancel that, and some of the players in the AAU fight. I'm going to go with the ref. It's the ref's fault that happened. If he was a professional and just ignored the guy, this would not have happened. It was a bad move for the ref and the AAU guy to swing at the guy shooting the video of him. I don't care what the hell he's saying. You keep your hands off people. Be a professional. You know what you signed up for when you signed up to be a ref in AAU basketball. It said right on the application, you will be dealing with asshole parents from the opening tip-off to the final buzzer. And that's the end of it. There you go. Asshole of the day is the ref, not yellow shirt guy, Stevie, you dope. The hell is wrong with you? How can he's just sitting there shooting a video? My God, give me a break. Oh, that's going to do it. It's singing. I appreciate you. We've got the Patreon bonus coming up a little bit later on. Thanks again for being part of this one. Until next time, bye-bye.